Welcome back to Exploring Whiskeys. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin, and today we're going back to our local distillery. This is the Wheeler's Raid number 19. They're almost like legally allowed to drink at this point. This is their bourbon finished in rum casks. So we've already done the rye finished in a rum cask. They released this back in September, I think, was the time frame. Obviously, time's gotten away from us, but we're reviewing this now.
Yeah, I'm proud of you for not cracking it open.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I just kind of got stuck down in the corner and I forgot about it for a minute. And then I was just, I got to do that.
They have the whole series. So they did the rye and the bourbon, finished with rum.
Yeah, and then they did the opposite, right?
Yeah, they finished the rum and the bourbon, finished the rum and the rye. So yeah.
So Wheeler's Raid, it's local to us. So Nolensville, Tennessee is where they're located. And it's a reference to a Civil War general named something Wheeler, General Wheeler, we'll just call him that. His orders were to go burn a supply train, train.
The Union troops.
And when they went over there, they realized that the wagons were full of whiskey. So instead of burning them, they went against orders and just took all the whiskey. And that's what it's actually named after.
I don't blame them.
No, it's, I mean, why burn something that you could repurpose? Yeah.
Well, and during those times, I'm sure you needed a
little something.
A couple nips to put you to sleep.
Yeah, a little something. So we're going to go.
There we go.
Thumbs up for the bottle open because this is a brand new crack. And I'm interested. This is going to be, I think, one that's probably a little tight on the palate because it's the neck pour that we might want to come back to and do a quick one-hitter of what it tastes like once it's open for a little while. For the rye, the biggest thing was you didn't get that much of the rum. Like, it was there. You could tell that there was a rum impact, but it didn't really pop. The rum didn't pop.
The nose is the same.
It's just bourbon.
Yeah.
There's just this like weird extra sweetness.
But the honey, remember, like we always said, the honey, theirs was always bourbon.
It was a hint.
A hint. You got a little bit on the nose, but like even on the palate, it was bourbon to rye forward, and then finished with just the sweetness.
Little sweetness, honey. Right. So they use MGP. They source from MGP, and then they are finishers. That's what they're doing. They're doing finishes again to honeys. They do toasted barrels. They do double barrels. They do all that kind of French oak.
It's good.
Yeah. So that's what they're doing. This is 118.2 proof. So solid proof and not a crazy price, $80 for a finished whiskey. It is 4 years and 9 months. And
I will say, I think the proof is spot on. I like the amount of proof. And you just get a little bit of the rum sweetness on the back. Well, across the palate, I would say.
I would agree.
It's not overpowering, which
that's a good thing.
I would prefer that it's not overpowering.
Right.
I want to enjoy the bourbon. I don't want to, no offense to the Captain Morgan lovers, I don't want bourbon, then bam, the Captain Morgan spiced rum hits me.
Well, we don't even know this is spiced rum barrels. We just know it's rum.
Whatever. I mean, pick your rum. I don't want that to be the dominant flavor.
I like the way that drinks.
Yes, I think
the note. I agree. On the nose,
it's just,
you're not picking up a rum impact. It just smells like a higher rye bourbon. It's just pretty standard MGP kind of nose. But the palate, there is a rum sweet, and honestly like an alcohol-y type, like a rum alcohol note to it as well. Because there's just a different note, or there's something different about rum. It's
almost like I'm getting the rye on the tip of my tongue now.
It comes back.
But it's across your palate, it's almost like the brown packets of raw sugar when you're out to eat, and you add that to like your
sugar
coffee.
in the raw. Okay, yeah.
Like raw sugar.
Yes, it adds something. It's not as crazy sweet, but it adds.
That's more of the sweetness a little bit of the rum flavor, but I'm getting more of like a sugar.
The sugar notes come through.
Yeah.
I would agree.
It's still a very, very tasty bottle, though.
MGP technically has 3 different bourbon. They have a 36% rye. They have a 21% rye. They also have wheated, and they also have one that's like super high. Oh, I guess that's well, no, it'd still be a bourbon, right? Corn. It was super high corn and just malt. Does it still qualify as a bourbon?
It just has to be 51%,
Just has to be corn, right?
51% corn.
So they have a couple different recipes. I think they stick towards the 36 because they tend to have a little bit more of a rye bite in their bourbons.
Yep.
So I'm saying they stick to the 36% rye. And
that's a really good bottle.
yeah, I like how that's playing. The rum is playing off of that. And again, if that opens up just a little bit, that could be crazy good.
I'm gonna just another touch.
I probably need one as well because that's actually compared to the rye. This seems to have a little bit more impact from the rum, even though the rum still isn't the primary note.
So I'll bring my bottle back on another episode, and we can do that.
Okay.
The rye and the rum versus the bourbon and the rum.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Which I'm assuming then the mine is more the 95.5, where this is the 36.
Right. Yeah. I just the rye might overpower the rum notes versus the bourbon might play better with the rye notes, the rum notes. Keep saying rum and rye and sorry. All right, let's put water in there because I'm just going to keep drinking it if we don't. Now the funny part is when we roll through there, we roll through to buy our bottles, and they're like, "You're going to give us a good review?" Well, I don't know. Is it good? Well, guess what? It's good.
You got your wish, boys.
Yeah, going to give you a good review because this is really solid.
Good.
I love the play. The bourbon and the rum really play well together. Very nice. And you're right. The proof is just like spot on that bottle. And I like the fact that they keep getting closer and closer to that 5-year mark.
Yes.
Like they're cheating closer and closer to that 5-year. And I really think MGP does better with a little bit more age. Like the 3 and 4s are a little harsh. The 5s and 6 really start to get good.
Yep. Well, the weather up there, it's harsh winters.
Yeah.
And not terribly harsh summers. So an extra year.
Do they age them up there or do they age them down here? Or do they just finish them down here? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. That's interesting. Do they have a warehouse someplace? Wasn't that an issue? They had to close down for a little bit because they had too many barrels on site? So I gotta assume they have some storage someplace else.
Right. Well, just add.
But I don't know if that's.
It's going to age at some point for a certain period of time.
Yeah, if they're going
to Indiana,
right?
Then probably a short period of time down here while they're waiting to
do the finish or to move it into as whatever the next barrel is being prepared. The rye with the water pops a lot more.
Yep.
Much stronger rye spice notes, very spicy. Like cracked pepper. Like I want to sneeze almost.
Get your nose in there and take a deep, deep pull.
Yeah, that really popped.
But now with the water, I'm getting a little bit of the rum. The tail end of the nose is that rum sweetness. Yeah.
I don't get it on the nose. I get it on the palate. That palate has almost turned more into I'm going to go Bacardi. It's definitely not Captain Morgan. It's not a spiced rum, but that Bacardi note is there. I get a pretty solid rum note.
Yeah.
It's not, this isn't whiskey, it's rum. It's not that, but there's a really, really solid rum note that comes through on that.
But now all the burn it comes to the front.
I'm gonna say I like the neat. It's my opinion. I like the neat a little better.
This is one I could go either way. I will say with the water, no, the water adding the whole burn and tingle just kind of just sits on the side of the tongue for a little bit.
I don't like what it did to the nose. The nose is really weird for me. It's just.
I like to notice how there is more. You pick up more. Well, for me, I pick up more of the rum sweetness.
I'm not. I get so much, and it's like my eyes are like watering. It's just not. Something just went really funny with the water. I'm not sure. I prefer the neat. I think the neat came across as a much better blend of the profiles of some rum and the bourbon. I do get the, like you said, like kind of a burn like around the tip of your tongue coming through. That's interesting. It's neat. I would have thought more of a warmth, 118 proof. I'm not getting that. I'm not getting like a big like warm
Not with
hug.
the water. I got it more neat. All the warmth now is
I'm there.
the roof of my mouth.
I enjoy that. I'm really super. There's got to be a cocktail in there.
Oh, yeah.
That just tastes like a cocktail, like almost like two ingredients in of a cocktail.
Find a rum cocktail to substitute the rum for the whiskey.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
That. I don't know rum cocktails at all. So, but we can figure that out. We can contact
the
our
Google.
local
Or
that
the,
or
Google,
our
the Google.
the Googles.
Google machine can help us out with that. Oh, that's a solid bottle.
That's really good. That's really good. Another very good finish from them. They're really starting to like dial in the barrels they're picking, how they're doing their finishing. They're really good. Really dialing it in.
So the next one I would like to see them do,
Ooh.
and it's just because
A recommendation. I love it.
we have the Sagamore that was finished in tequila,
We do.
which
It was weird.
it was weird. I had higher expectations just in general, and then what paid for the bottle. I'd be curious to see what these guys could do.
See, I don't really like tequila, so I'm not like.
I do.
That's not something that I totally would go crazy for, but I don't know.
What else are you gonna finish in?
I don't know. That's what I'm sitting there trying to think, like, what other things you could. They've never really done a wine
Right,
finish.
I was just thinking that they haven't done a
So no ports, no sherry.
sherry.
Do they do
or,
a sherry?
or a cab?
I don't know if they might have done one. They did a finished one. I don't think we had it.
I have to go back and look the numbers.
I'm almost positive there's a sherry one that they have, and I've never been able
Well,
to get
they
that
could do
bottle.
the sherry, the port.
Yeah,
If they
sherry,
haven't already done
port.
the sherry, again, they can go across the street to the brewery.
Yeah,
Do a finish with the
a stout. A stout finish on that would be awesome. A little combo with Mill Creek could kind of work out.
and then the tequila.
I don't know.
It's a
not my
different
bag.
twist, and I would like to. My money would be on these guys to do it better than Sagamore did.
But that's a rye. They did a rye finish in
But
that.
they have
So do
the
you think
rye,
they
so
could do
you
their
think
rye?
the rye, yeah.
Do you think their rye, they could finish their rye better than Sagamore did? Oh, I don't know. That's a challenge. He threw the gauntlet down. Are you guys up for it? They watch.
so.
I know they watch.
And we're gonna come in here, so we need to go back in.
we'll be back
So
there
I
soon.
would like to kick the tires on, create that discussion. Hopefully you guys are in when we come in. I'd like to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Because I think some of these finishes, and I've always said it, I think just going across the street to the brewery, and
And a
because I
stout
know,
finish
because I
would be
know
just
they've got
rock.
barrels from a competitor that
Yes, they do.
it'd be awesome to do one with you guys.
I think that would be a Nolensville local brewery and distillery doing something together. I think would go over really well in the community.
But again, guys, solid
This
bottle.
one's really good.
Solid.
Really enjoyed this. I enjoyed this one materially more than I enjoyed the rye. The rye never seemed to pick up as much of the rum impact. This really did. very
Yep.
solid.
You guys did a solid job.
Thumbs
there.
up.
All right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed our review of the Wheeler's Raid number 19.
Number 19.
Bourbon finish and rum. Again, solid bottle.
Yes.
Again, their distribution is limited,
Yeah,
but if you're
it's-
passing through the areas we've always said,
Yeah.
Stop
Tennessee,
in.
and I believe they're in all of Georgia, not just Atlanta. So if you're in one of those states,
if you're in or if you're passing through,
poke your head in.
stop in a liquor store or even just
If you're
stop
anywhere
in-
near
stop in the actual
the distillery.
distillery, sit down and have a conversation, have a pour and have a conversation with the bartender last time we were there.
Yeah.
She was
She was
awesome.
great.
We had a great conversation. We were there for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
So, and you never know who's going to pop in there.
Yeah. Every once in a while, the owner or the sales guy,
Right.
they all swing in for the weekend.
Yep. So it's great little place here in Nolensville. I'm glad we got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Great.
again, hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, as always, we'd love you to support the channel. We'd love for you to hit that like button at the bottom of the screen.
While you're down there, subscribe. Trying to grow the channel. We put up content like this about twice a week. So you can learn as we get to sample more and different types of whiskey.
Yep, absolutely. So appreciate you watching, and we look forward to seeing you next episode.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers.